Guys, I am back and I've got something pretty cool and pretty special to show you today. This knife, it's a custom-made hand ground knife. Comes from a longtime viewer, excuse me, fellow knife maker. And he makes some really cool, normally he makes some real rustic, natural looking stuff. But he branched out a little bit for this one. He goes by KR Knife Maker on the channel. He makes knives under the name Darkhammer Forge. And I've shown some of his stuff before. He sent me to look at. And he made this one specifically to honor veterans. With that sort of, well, you can see the red, white, and blue stonework here. But it's a really cool knife. And I've had it for a little bit. And I've been remiss in not showing it to you. So he did everything here from the leather work on the sheath to the knife itself. And the thing that's cool about his knives is that they have a very, I'm trying to think of the word to use, but it is a real homemade, tough look. You know you've got a knife made by a craftsman, you know, like made by someone who ground this knife out for you when you take it out and you look at it. Now he works in carbon steel, and this is so this is a steel billet that's ground out, and it takes a bit of work to do this kind of stuff, and it's so those of you not familiar in the world of knife making, there's a couple different ways you can make a knife. You can take a billet of steel and put it in the forge and hammer it and forge it out, and that's one way. Or you can take a billet of steel. You can reclaim metal, or you can go and source out billets of steel, and you can grind it out. Sometimes people will forge the billet of steel they want, and then will actually put the shape on and grind it out with different ways. It's not always hammering the shape into the hot, and hammering hot metal is, sometimes you look at the video and it looks like it's easy because you think like, oh, it's hot metal, it's soft. It's not though. That's the thing. It's still hammering a piece of metal. So, but anyway, when you're grinding a billet, whether it's reclaimed or whatever, you've got to grind it, and then you've got to then get it, heat treated and stuff so that it holds the edge. You can work with hardened steel. You can grind hardened steel, but then what you've got to do is be very careful through the grinding that you're not heating that steel up to ruin whatever heat treatment is already on there. So it can be very challenging, so don't discount grinding a blade versus forging a blade, because when you're grinding a blade, you walk into those very unique challenges yourself. But anyway, so this is what he sent, and in the email he said he was thinking of a military style knife, and the finishing on the handle is just really gorgeous. So what he was going for, of course, is the red, white, and blue, and then a purple wood representing combat wounded veterans, Purple Heart. And then you see we've got these really nice brass fixtures in between, and a nice hilt that'll keep you situated really well. It's a very comfortable handle. It's not, when I talk about not fancy, I'm not talking about all the work you put into it. I just mean shape-wise, it's not fancy. It's a very simple handle, but it's easy to index the blade because of the shape. Nice and big for all hands, and you can see it's a very nice big heavy piece of steel. And now he will, I'm sure, comment on the video and let us know exactly what kind of steel he used. I can't remember, except that it is a carbon-based steel. I'm not sure, but balance and weight on this thing is very good, very, very good. He also said that if I wanted to give this away, this could be the kind of thing that the person could finish off, you know, customize and finish off on their own. I'm tempted to work on it and finish it off myself too, but you know, we'll see. So you can see it's a very large kind of, well, let's see exactly what we're dealing with here. So blade wise, about a 6-inch blade. Okay, just about 6-inch blade. And then we've got about 10 inches overall. Wow, nice even. Wow, good work on the measuring there. Sorry, that's not on camera, but yeah, 6 inches and then 10 inches overall. For actual cutting surface, we've got, let's see, we've got a hair under 5 inches on the actual cutting surface there. Let's see. Nice. You know, it could use, honestly, just a little bit of, maybe a little bit of a diamond edge right there and then a strop, but he put a really nice edge on that thing. You could take this out there. I mean, it's got the forward momentum. You could do a little chopping. You could do cutting. I mean, if I wanted to take this out in the back right now, out into the woods and do some stuff, it would work just fine for me. Definitely. Pretty nice. Let's see. Let me get a weight. I have a little scale on around here. Comes in on the scale at exactly 12.5 ounces, which is a pretty nice weight for something like this. And it carries that weight really well. You know, the finishing work on the stone and the brass is really nice. I think it's a really nice touch on this. And I know that he does take orders, by the way, so you'll be able to, you know, see him in the comments. What I like about his stuff is that it has a very handmade finish. It has the look of somebody that put the work in. Now, it's easy to find stuff, and I know probably somebody in the comments is going to say like, oh, it looks unfinished, you know, but that's, you can get stuff that looks perfect all the time. I like stuff that looks, and I've said this before with, you know, custom knives and stuff like that, that looks like it's right off of the workbench, or that looks like it's super fine perfected. I don't like stuff that's kind of like right in between. And this has that look of it came right off a workbench and it's ready to use. And the thing is, it looks like something that somebody made for you, which is what's really cool. So what do you guys think? Should we give this one away? Is this something that somebody would want to have in a collection? And if we give it away, should I, you know, because he mentioned that, you know, somebody that gets it could put a little finishing into it and customize it. Should I put a little time into finishing up, you know, a little bit on the blade and stuff, or is that something that you know, and then we give it away, or is that something that the winner would want to do themselves? Look at that gorgeous steel finish, though. Just love the way the light's bouncing off that. It's a really, I mean, he's a talented guy, you know, which is why I like to show off his stuff. And I'm sorry I've had this for a little bit before showing it to you. I really encourage all the time anybody that says, hey, and you know, I haven't shown you guys, I've shown you guys a lot of my mods. I haven't shown you a lot of my custom made stuff, because when I make a custom knife for somebody, it's a personal process, you know, between somebody that says, I want you to make this, and making it. But I really encourage anybody that wants to get in to trying their hand at making something out of metal and seeing that result and saying, I made something. It's amazing. It is an amazing feeling, folks. Like, it really is. And I always encourage people when they say, I don't know, should I try it? What should I do? Try it. Try it. You don't need to spend a lot of money on crazy tools. You can get some, you have to spend a little bit of money on some tools. If you're going to forge, you need to spend a bit more money. But if you want to get a simple grinding setup and you want to try your hand at it, try it. It is just, if the bug is in you, if it's in your blood and you want to try it, try it. And you know, it is an amazing feeling to actually produce something and then and then take it into the kitchen and chop with it, or take it into the woods and feather stick with it, or whatever. I mean, it's awesome. But this is just, there's a level of work that goes into this that until you do it, you never even know. You notice how this handle, this wood here, is one piece. It's not two pieces, which means, so the tang of this knife had to be, he had to fit it in there and make sure it's all nice and snug, and that, you know, there's different methods to go into it. Each one of these pieces had to be, you know, measured and drilled just right to fit perfectly on the tang, and then, you know, you glue them all down and press them in, and there's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into this stuff that you don't see, and learning how to do it is just awesome. You know, and you can learn a lot from YouTube. You can learn so much now from YouTube. It's amazing. But this is a really, really gorgeous knife, and I appreciate him sending it over, and I love that I get to show it to you guys. So yeah. And he is, by the way, an Army veteran himself. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. So, and the sheath is all, of course, hand-stitched leather. Simple sheath just to hold it in there while you're out and about doing your thing. Make some really cool stuff. So, is this a kind of knife that we would like to see given away on the channel? You guys want to have this? Yes? No? What do you think? Let me know. Thank you again to Darkhammer Forge, Care Knife Maker, for number one, putting the time in to make such a beautiful thing, for making it a tribute to our troops and our veterans, and for sending it over so that I could show it off, and for letting us have the discretion to do what we want with it. I really am curious to see what you guys think of it, and your opinions. So fill the comments up. I'm really curious to see what you guys think of all the work that went into this. So remember, you guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will be back again real soon.